Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? There we go. I think we can hear each other now. All right, questions. Let's go for questions. Who's got a question? How did you start the business? From Jesse Juarez. Let's see. Actually, I didn't. My parents did back in 1985. I started with them, though. I started pushing a broom. I was 14 at the time, and that's how we got started. Dad started the business after he worked as a field service technician. All right, another question. Oh, what's my shirt mean from Two Sticks? Don't tread on me. Move over for tow trucks. This is one of the many slow down, move over campaign shirts and stuff that I have. Wow, the comments are going so quick I can't hardly keep up. Somebody help me here.
Okay. Ron, did you ever imagine wreckers would come to be so high tech? Dan Dunning.
Did I think wreckers would become so high tech? No, I had no idea. I'm glad they did, though. I really, really enjoy the technology has made it a lot easier for us. My goodness, the threads are just moving.
How long have you been in heavy towing?
How long?
Dustin Butler.
Dustin Butler. How long have I been in heavy towing? I've been towing for over 30 years in heavy towing and recovery. We just started doing the light and medium duty stuff within the last 5 years, but we've always done the heavy duty. All right, Jimmy, how do I do that? Let's see. All right, questions.
You have one personalized. What's your favorite dream car, Jonathan Coleman?
What's my favorite dream car, Jonathan Coleman? All right, Lauren is helping me, and Talon is helping me. There's Lauren. Say hi to Lauren. Talon's helping. Ethan's here helping. LaDonna's here helping. Okay, my favorite dream car is a late 60s model Corvette.
Come on, maybe get out of it and go.
Sometime, maybe. When I become a multi-millionaire, I'll have one, but I'm a long way from there. What size is your rotator, Justin? It is a 50-ton Miller Century 1150R.
Stephen S. How did you go about choosing your specific style of rotator?
How did we go about choosing the specific style of rotator? We've always used Miller Industry products, and the 1150R was a fairly new in the Miller product scheme, and it fit a good niche because it was heavy enough to do a lot of good things, but was also scalable. The 75 tons were so heavy that you couldn't scale anything with them. All right, moving on.
Pineapple on pizza?
Pineapple on pizza, okay.
Yes or no?
Pineapple on pizza, yes, I love Hawaiian pizza. I love Hawaiian pizza. Okay, they're trying to give me questions because I can't keep up with the reading on there. What?
What's your favorite tower truck of all time?
That would be mine. The favorite towing truck of all times, that would be mine. The rotator, I love it. Okay. Let's see. Midday in Australia. Hi, Aussies. Hi from down under.
Howdy, Ron. First off, thank you for your video. Second, how do you like the Peterbilt? If you could do it over again, would you buy a different model truck from Texas Heavy Haul?
Actually, no. I love the Peterbilts, especially the 389 series. I grew up, or I cut my teeth on a Marmon 57P long hood. I love the big, long, square hoods. Don't see me driving anything else. I love them.
What do you think of Vulcan Wreckers? Albert Massingo?
Albert wants to know what I think of the Vulcans. We actually own one. The Western Star is a Vulcan V70, 35 ton. The Vulcan is a sister to the Century. They're all made by Miller Industries. The Vulcan is a really, really good heavy recovery unit. No problems there whatsoever. I like them.
Connor Taylor, love your channel. Keep up the great work. And do you ever get calls to put trains back on the track? And what wrecker would you prefer?
Trains back on tracks, very rarely, because normally they have specialized equipment that does that. Special companies that come in and do that. What was the second part of that?
What wrecker would you prefer to use to do that?
Oh, what wrecker? Obviously, my favorite is the big rotator, the 1150 that we have.
Cotter Weidman said, thank you for all hard work you do and keep up the good work from Oklahoma. Let's see. Wall Climber 75, what's your craziest run you've ever had to do?
Oh my goodness, craziest. Oh, I can't even begin to think about that. I've had so many crazy ones. What is your home Masonic Lodge? Okay. My home Masonic Lodge is Jackson 411 out of Jackson, Missouri.
Somebody asked
Excelsior Lodge.
Somebody asked where can they find the ringtone like you have?
Where can they find the ringtone? I actually found mine on Zedge. I just looked up Mater. It's an app.
Matilda Fisher, when you started your channel, did you ever think it'd take off and generate so much interest in towing and recovery?
No, I had no idea that this channel would take off to the level that it has, and it's continuing to grow, and I am so grateful and so blessed to have wonderful viewers like you. Do you consider getting a 75 or 100 ton? Oh, absolutely. I would love to have, of course, a good friend of mine on here, Vic Masano, and I talk about it quite frequently. I'd love to have a big Pete 389 twin steer tri-drive with a 75 ton Miller on it. Absolutely love to have one of those.
Matthew Langer, any new trucks coming in 2019?
Not right now, not that we know of. There may be some different equipment purchased. We're looking at some trailers and such, but probably no new trucks. The new rollback, the new 337 with the LCG 12 number 15 is probably the only truck we'll get this year.
Tony Mai, love how you treat your employees.
Thank you. What's the big shiny red button on your truck controls do? Very good question. That is an emergency stop button. If something should go crazy, you slam that red button and it shuts down the PTO, shuts down the truck, so that no further functions can occur. It's a safety feature. It's an emergency shutoff is what that red button is.
Jeff's World vlogs or vlogs. Do you drink coffee?
Yes.
I can answer that.
I usually drink at least 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day.
And what kind?
It's Starbucks. My
Thank
wife
you.
has me. Yes, she has me.
Coffee snob.
Coffee snobs. Yes, coffee snobs. I drink Starbucks. And then from there on out, it's water. Water the rest of the day. Cody
Jonathan.
Ledgers, shout out, howdy. Someone asked Home 750 question mark. I guess they want to know what a Home 750 is. If one of the moderators can find a picture of it, the Home 750 was the industry standard back in the 70s, and they were used. Some of them are still used today. The Home 750 was 2 booms. They called it a split boom, and they anchored at the tip, anchored together, and you could split the booms apart and work off of either side of the truck. You could anchor one side and then go off the other. Very, very handy, especially on 2-lane roads. I've got a new video coming up where I'll explain what a Holmes tree is. For those of you not in the industry, you'll find out what a Holmes tree is.
Doppelmayr, what year did you buy the rotator?
We took possession of the rotator in January of 2015.
14. No way. No, 14.
It was January 2014.
No, sorry, January 2015, because it was right after me and Talon got married.
Correct. January 2015.
Sonic Man, what got your dad started in towing business?
What got Dad started in the towing business? Oh my. We were a Marmon truck dealer, and we had a Marmon out on the East Coast that was involved in a train crash. It ripped the tanker off the back of the truck. Dad bought the salvage, brought it back, rebuilt it, and he painted it. And the paint scheme was beautiful. He absolutely loved the truck. And the longer it sat out on the lot, the more he decided that he wanted to keep the truck. So instead of paying other people to bring work into our shop, towing stuff into our shop, my dog Chip making an appearance. Hi, Chip. Say hi to everybody. Come here, buddy. Anyway, rather than having other companies tow our customers into our shop, Dad decided that we would build a truck of our own, and we did. We built the Home 750 on the Marmon 57P chassis, put a Zach lift underreach on it, and had the very first hydraulic underreach in the area many years ago.
Rotators 50. Have you ever had a cable snap on you?
Have I ever had a cable snap on me? Yes, but not in a long time. That was the old Home 750s. Where they would pull and pull and pull until something broke. The newer trucks and my knowledge. Hi, Dan. See, Dan Young.
Yeah.
Howdy, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Lauren says hi. Anyway, I've learned a lot since breaking cables. Not to say that it couldn't still happen if you overload a cable, but I've learned a lot, and I haven't broke a cable in a long time.
Snowmobile King. How many horsepower is the rotator?
How many horsepower is the rotator? It has a Cummins ISX 550 horsepower engine with an 18-speed transmission behind it.
Talon, somebody said you're the man.
No, they got me wrong. They took me wrong.
Talon
Talon.
number 2.
Okay, Dan Dunning, Ron is your main business, heavy truck repair. It all works together. Hi, Talon.
Oh, hello, everybody.
There's Talon. And there's Chip's butt.
Hi, Chip.
Chip's wagging his
Say
tail,
hi, buddy.
saying hi to everybody.
Say hi.
Ethan, you had a question.
Chip,
Yeah.
come here.
Uh, Chris Griffith says, what did you have before the current rotator you have now?
Okay, what did I have before I had the current rotator that we have now? My primary truck was a Peterbilt 379 with a Century 7035, 35-ton integrated stick boom. I drove that for 10 years, operated that for 10 years prior to us getting the 1150.
Okay.
What is the worst tow you were called to? Okay. Worst tow that I think I've ever had to do, unfortunately, was after someone had perished in the semi and was left in the heat for about a week before they found the person. And I won't go into details, but that was a horrible situation for everybody involved. But that was probably one of my worst.
Ethan has a question.
Okay.
Okay. Jacob S says, are you guys brothers?
You and Talon.
Talon and I? No. Okay.
Right.
Here, come here. Come here. Let's get this straight. All right. This here is my lovely daughter, Lauren. This is Talon. They are married. So
Son-in-law.
Talon is my son-in-law. Ethan, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Ethan,
Come here. Come
You're
here.
coming here too.
Ethan, this is my son, Ethan. Okay. That's Ethan. A lot of people ask why Ethan doesn't work out in the truck with us more, because Ethan is only 15. He's still in high school.
Get 1,000 likes and I'll drop out.
No, no.
Oh my gosh. Is there Nathan?
Funny boy 12375 said hi, Ethan.
Nathan, is there anything you haven't tried to recover with Tater? Seems like it can handle about anything.
We haven't found anything that we haven't been able to overcome yet. Not to say that we haven't had to go about it with different ways than we first thought of, but so far with the rotator, there hasn't been anything that we haven't been able to do. There have been jobs that we've walked away from because we thought they were too dangerous, though. we do get asked to do things that we don't feel is completely safe, and we'll just walk away from those in a polite manner. But
Texas Heavy Haul, how's Mike's Class A training going?
Mike's doing well. He's doing well. He does really good on the towing and recovery stuff. He does great on the light duty. He's doing good on the medium and heavy. He's worked on as a rigger for us for quite some time. He's just got to get the license. I think he's ready to go, other than getting his license taken care of.
Adam Bonin, hello from West New York.
Howdy.
Ben Wilkins, talent is blessed, and so are you, sir.
Okay, I know
Sergeant Eastwell, hi all the way from Perth, Australia.
Jake
Again,
Kilgore,
another-
this is awesome. My son is 5 years old and loves all of your videos from Idaho. Hello, Jake.
there was something about a V100. I just saw a comment about a V100 with 3 winches. We don't have one. I wouldn't mind having one, especially the XL that has the, for those that don't know, the V100 is a 50-ton stick boom. It is a 3-stage stick boom, which would be similar to the rotator, but our rotator obviously rotates 360 degrees around. The V100 is a 50-ton stick boom, which means it comes straight out the back of the truck, and it is also a 3-stage, so it has extra length and is capable of lifting enormous amounts. The V103 has 3 winches. It has the 2 main boom winches, and then it has a 3rd winch that comes out the center, which I've not used one, but from what I hear, people that have them absolutely love them.
Chris Kroll, rollback or smaller regular tow truck for passenger car recovery, and why?
Repeat that again. Sorry.
Rollback or smaller regular tow truck for passenger car recovery, and why? From Chris Kroll is the commenter.
Personal choice. I can use a rollback for most passenger vehicle recoveries, not all, but most. As you've seen in some of the videos, we are called to use a rotator for some, but if it's simply one that's rolled over in a small ditch, a rollback has no problem with it.
Stephen McCoy, hey Talon, how are you doing, and how's working with Ron?
Good and good for the most part.
Good for the most part. Which one?
Good for the most part, working with Ron.
Well, as with any family business, you're not always going to agree on everything. I don't always agree with my dad. Talon doesn't always agree with me. It happens. It's part of being a family business. But you learn at the end of the day that we all work for the greater good, and
And mom's
we work
always
together.
right.
Yeah.
Ethan wants to say something. I'm afraid to give him the floor or what.
SGJ4AJ says, what about that violin behind you?
The violin behind me, that is actually my wife's. I have no musical inclination whatsoever.
And she can't play it.
There's a piano back here. There's a violin. There's a set of drums. Lauren, my wife, and my son all have the musical inclination. I have mechanical inclination. I can't do music. The only music I can do is play it from my phone or a stereo system.
SLC Farms, it's not much, but you have the rest. Walter Wade earlier, thank you for all you do. Love the videos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Micro Apple, how often do you get unload calls? Like when you unloaded some machinery off a flatbed in Guy's new workshop? I missed those videos.
We really never know. We take the calls as they come. We do a lot of stuff that we can't show on video for proprietary reasons. We go inside of warehouses and stuff where the companies don't want us doing videotaping, which is understandable. Ethan, stop.
Unless you want to get on video.
She's flossing.
Yes.
Yeah, Ethan's flossing in the background. He just doesn't want
Do you
anybody
have a
to see it.
Morkie? I do, and she just turned 2. Actually, we have, what is he called?
He's the more.
Morky.
He's
He's a Morkie, yeah,
and he's
His name's Todd.
the least intelligent dog that we
Yeah,
have.
unfortunately, he was in the shallow end of the gene pool.
Oh boy, here he comes.
Okay, Ethan's going to get the Morkie. His
He
name's
looks
Todd.
like a rag doll.
We have 4 dogs and 5 cats. Okay, here's Todd, the rat dog. We call him Rat Dog. Come here, Todd.
Look at him. He looks like a homeless dog.
Here's Todd.
Hi.
Here's the Morkie.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Todd.
Todd needs a
And
haircut.
how old is, what, he's
Todd's
8 years old?
Todd's 8.
Thanks,
Still-
Timbuktu.
Still acts like a little puppy.
Oh, how is Miko? Ray's asking how Miko was. Ray came by the shop.
Miko is good. He's enjoying the sunny weather that we've had the past few days. He has been running out in the yard this weekend and sunbathing.
Okay, good question. Aaron Wolf, any news on the lady from the Tired Taurus? A lot of people have asked about the Tired Taurus series. They loved the Tired Taurus. She is doing wonderful. She got her vehicle back 2 days after I dropped it off at the dealership, and she and I have kept in touch. She's still driving that same vehicle, thanks to viewers like you who came together and provided the money to fix her vehicle. Again, I can't thank you all enough. We're just so blessed.
CP Windsor sub, if TV Network approached you to do a show such as Heavy Rescue 401 or Highway Through Hell, would you do it? Great work and greetings from Windsor, Ontario.
I can't go into great detail. We were approached by a production company that works for some of the major networks. We were in discussions about doing a TV show. It didn't work out, but I'm okay with that. We're going to go with YouTube, and we've got more control that way, and the viewers get to see true reality. So
Up North Beats. Hey Ron, how long is the tater when the underreach is at full extension?
oh, okay. When the underreach is folded up, when it's traveling down the road normally, it's about 40 feet long. With it unfolded and extended out, you can add another probably, 10 foot, Talon? So it'd be around 50 foot, I guess, somewhere in that range.
Here's Lance.
Are you guys flooding in Missouri? Yes. The Mississippi River is up. Ethan actually got disappointed. We were going to take his dirt bike and my four-wheeler down to the some of the sandbars on the Mississippi River and ride today, but we weren't able to because the water was up too much.
Lance Ownby, love your videos. I often use them as training aids during new drivers' first weeks on the road. Would you consider doing a bit more causality analysis, especially in heavy recovery?
I don't know. It's something I would think about doing the causality. That really is left up to the police officers and their investigations of the scene. Of course, I've seen a lot over the 30 plus years that I've been doing it, and I can generally tell from the most part what has happened and how the accident occurred, but I'll leave that to the professionals. My job is more to clean up the mess. So
You have Edmoy15, love the channel, Ron, learning a lot about rigging, watching you. You also have Acid Burn 21281 when towing a few loaded semi. How does it work with the weigh stations and your weight?
okay, if we're operating in the state of Missouri, we are exempt from weight, length, height restrictions, all of that. If we go outside of the state of Missouri, we are subject to the same rules and regulations as any tractor trailer out on the road. We have to be able to scale legally, axle wise, gross weight wise, everything, unless we have permits, just like everybody else.
Mike Manfred, how do you go about training your employees?
Just like Talon. Talon rode with me from the time he first started. We train all of ours in-house.
Pretty much every record call I went on since I got out of high school. So a lot of take this, put this here, hook it this way. No, that's wrong. Do it like this. You know, hands on.
Kevin Smith, have you ever floated the rotator during a recovery? Yes, it does happen. It does happen. That's when you've got to constantly be watching the entire scene to make sure that you're not floating the outriggers. But yes, it does happen.
To the top crane. Ron, if you get the chance, would you all like to come up to visit and maybe get you some seat time in the crane?
Oh, I'd love it.
Be there tomorrow.
Colton Mason, hey Ron, thanks for making great content. Stay safe and watch your six.
Thank you. Thank you.
Smurfit5241, where can I get the Midwest truck merchandise?
Okay. let me see. Let me put the link
I was
here.
about to say, I can tell you whenever
It's
while you're putting
Just
the link
basically
before.
midwest.net/merchandise.
Yep, and somebody asked Tony Phillips, Talon, where'd you get your hat at? His hat came from our online store. Which one is that? That's one of the
That's one of the
the
camos.
Real Tree Hardwoods, and that one is in our store.
I know there's a lot of questions, guys. I'm sorry we're not going to be able to get to all of them. We're planning for about an hour tonight, and we'll just take it as it goes. I can't get to every question. I see a lot of questions here. I just don't have time to answer all of them.
Wayne
Sorry.
Thompson, how long has Talon and your daughter been married? Talon, you want to answer that one?
That's for them.
You
Go
better
for it.
know.
Feels like 17 years.
Oh! Okay, I can tell you the date because it's November 15th. They picked the very first opening day of deer season.
It was not planned that way.
I'm a deer hunter, and I had to choose my daughter, obviously, but
Gee, thanks. But no, me and Talon have, let's see, we started dating in high school. I was a sophomore. He had just graduated. We've been together it'll be 10 years this year, and we'll have been married for 5 years in November.
Talon wouldn't leave my office. That was the problem.
Yeah, his mom's
hold
high
on.
school counselor, so
Someone said, how about a tandem V100? Yes, that would be an excellent combination. Talon and I have actually talked about that. For people that aren't familiar with the tandem setup, that means it's 2 steering axles and 2 drive axles. It helps distribute the weight much better instead of having a tag axle like the rotator has. It has 2 steering axles that are heavy, 20,000 pound capacity each, and then 2 heavy drive axles, typically 54,000 pound capacity on the back. Very, very good combination, and they are becoming more and more common, especially on the 50-ton units. And yes, I would love to have one. How much was the 337, Scott Riney? Which 337? We have 2. We have number 10, which is the 4024 that we've had for a little while, and then there's the new number 15, which is on a rollback.
here, Dad, we'll sit with you too.
Okay. All right. Here, I can scoot over.
Okay, that'll work.
The new number 15 was about. I just saw a question here. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. The new number 15 was about 120, give or take, and we traded off one of the old Chevrolet rollback towards it. Someone asked if I have ever been kissed by our arch nemesis, the power lines. Thankfully, no. We've been very, very close, but we have never been kissed by them. Thank you.
Adam Bonin has a question
Yes,
for Talon.
squirrel. Yes, I am.
What's
I
it
can't
like,
help it.
Talon, what's it like working for your father-in-law from Adam Bonin?
Be very cautious with that
Because your
answer.
father-in-law's here, your mother-in-law's there, your brother-in-law. Question for you, Talon.
It's pretty fun. I think we both enjoy it. It's different working with family than just working with normal workflow. You go in, you got your friends and everything, but now you're working with your family, so it's a lot of fun.
Colton Mason, hi Ron, thanks for making great content. Stay safe, watch your 6.
Thank you.
There was another question on here that asked, was Talon an employee first or your son-in-law first? Talon?
I was an employee first.
That was like the probationary period.
Well,
to
yeah,
being the son-in-law.
I think there were plans being made for becoming an in-law long before that. But anyway,
He had actually, I think right after high school, you had interest in diesel mechanics and working there, and we're like, well, hey, stop by, and the rest is history.
yeah. Somebody asked, have there ever been any fails with the rotator? Yes. Hey, Bear. Nice to see you. And I do have Wreckmaster certification, Bear. But let's see, have there ever been any fails with the rotator? Yes, I would be lying if I said that we haven't failed. Plan A doesn't always work. We always get the job done, but we've been thankful that and blessed that nobody's ever been injured, nobody's ever been hurt or killed. But yes, there have been times when things didn't go as planned. If you consider that a fail, we have done that.
Lauren McD, hello from Alberta, Canada. Have you ever considered a tandem rollback?
Yes, we did. We actually considered a tandem rollback when we bought this rollback. The dealer that we normally go through, Crouches out of Tennessee, had a 26-foot bed. What was the capacity? 22,000 pounds, wasn't it? 22,000 pound tandem on a Peterbilt, and we almost bought it. But we decided to stay with the single for now. Not to say that we won't add a tandem axle for equipment moving later on. We might, but for right now, we're going to stay with what we got.
Austin Schilling, how often are you going to go live stream?
If it works out, we'll just have to see. We're going to play it by ear. Maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. We may even make it a weekly thing. Who knows? We'll just see how tonight goes and take it from there.
Oklahoma kid, ever going to do a blooper video?
Blooper video. We've thought about it. My wife just pointed at me and said, I told you. Bloopers and outtakes. We have thought about it. And yes, there may be something like that in the works.
Josh Walton, do you have a problem with these two? Josh Walton, do you have a problem with your trucks doing a regen with all that PTO time?
Regens are a problem regardless of the manufacturer. That is probably 85% of the towing that we get, not the recovery jobs, but the towing is regen related. So yes, any manufacturer.
Chip looks in the video really bad.
Chip's getting in the scene here. Hey, buddy.
Colton Mason, hey Ron, I work at a factory that makes the mobile oil rigs and was just wondering, but have you ever had to tow one of those?
Okay. Do what? I'm sorry. I was reading comments.
Colton Mason, hey Ron, I work at a factory that makes the mobile oil rigs and just wondering, but have you ever towed one of those?
Mobile oil rigs. I don't guess I have. I have towed the Oscar Mayer Weenie Mobile though.
Ethan Quinn.
John Yates, will you go bigger than your current tater? I would like to. I don't know where we're going to end up, but yes, I would like to.
There's been several questions wanting to know, does Talon do mechanic work as well as recovery work? And does he often drive the rotator by himself yet?
I do a little bit of everything. Mainly what I'm told. Sometimes not even that. But yeah, I do mechanic work and run the wreckers. Sometimes fill in for Ron whenever he's not feeling good or he's gone on vacation, which is rare. But yeah, I do a little bit of everything. Sweep the floors. Just whatever needs to be done.
Our shop, we have for those of you that aren't familiar with it, we do have a repair shop and the towing and recovery service. They're all together. All of our operators work in the shop as well. We have a standard 40-hour work week plus the after-hours call-outs. So the guys that are qualified to run the towing and recovery units also work in the shop. Talon as well as myself.
Here's one that's pretty awesome. Pascal, and I'm going to butcher this name, Pascal de Freelancer. I don't know. Greetings from Belgium. Thanks for the live stream. It's 2:30 in the morning here. Keep up the good work and be safe. Wow, I can't believe somebody's up at 2:30 in the morning. Watch
Thank
this.
you.
That's awesome.
David Bagley, hello from Bagley Tran. What is your range for calls? Was just in your area today.
I get that question a lot. The range for our calls for emergency purposes, where we would do, like immediate accidents and stuff to try to clear the roadway, is probably about a 50-mile radius. But for towing, we were licensed in almost all 48 contiguous United States.
Dan Young asked Talon, who's the boss? Grandma Linda.
Dan
Linda
Young
Pratt.
knows what he's doing.
Linda Pratt.
All right, Dan, stop stirring it.
Michael Erb says, "Will Miss Pratt get some screen time?"
No, she will not. Not today.
My wife is camera shy. She does not like to be in front of the camera. So sorry, guys. She's probably not going to make an appearance.
Get a picture of the Wicked Witch and hold it up. Right back there.
Oh, yeah. Back behind us is part of her shrine to the Wizard of Oz. She said to get a picture of the Wicked Witch and show it. Hey, Ron. Hey, Talon. Hey, everyone. This is from Matty Matt, Watcher 6. As a first responder, I'm towing recovery operator. I'm curious to know, how often do you use the arrow sticks? We use the arrow sticks on both of the rollbacks, and they have become one of the most valuable tools that we have. They get traffic over better than almost anything we've found so far. We mount them up high enough, and they do move traffic over.
Moto Lover 95 says, "What do you think about Heavy Rescue 401 and Highway Through Hell?"
I watch them both. I've watched all of the towing and recovery videos on TV, Netflix that I could find, and I like them all. They all have there's things that you can learn. There's things you think, well, I wouldn't do it that way, but if it works for them. And then there's some of it that you got to take with a grain of salt because it's made for TV. Some of it is, but there's some of those guys, the conditions that they work in, I wouldn't want to have to work in those conditions. I mean, that's miserable, especially the guys up in minus 30 and 40 degree snow and ice. I don't envy them that at all. I mean, we get our share of winter, but not near like that.
I think the blooper idea is a go because there's several comments that yes, they would like to see that. So I think that's something you should consider.
Okay. Let's see.
There's a K9 officer that says hi, Dakota Ray. Everybody's wanting to know if you're going to get a second rotator for Talon to drive.
Well, again, a second rotator is something that we would love to have. We just don't know what the business is going to do, what the economy is going to do. Only time will tell. Yes, I'd love to have one. I just don't know if our area can support a second one for our business.
Now, Mrs. Pratt is not as lovely as that.
Is your dad retired, or does he still help at the shop? Dad is not retired yet. He says he wants to all the time, but he hasn't yet. He's still recovering from shoulder surgery, so you haven't seen him in a lot of the videos recently. He does enjoy the recovery work. He loves to go out and do the big jobs, but he hasn't been able to because of his shoulder. But he's finally been released, and he should be getting back into some of the videos because he's really looking forward to it.
Austin Schilling, what's the closest call you've ever had?
Closest call I've ever had? Oh my goodness. Just being out on the interstate. You get 5,000-pound missiles flying by you or 80,000-pound missiles flying by you all the time. I mean, it's a daily occurrence. One wrong look down at the phone or distracted by something, and it could be lights out for me forever, or for Talon, or whoever's with us. Something that we all live with and are concerned about, but it's part of the job.
Chris, how many bloopers will be of Talon? So
A majority.
99%.
A majority of
I'm gonna take that.
What's the most embarrassing moment that you've had that has been deleted off of one of these videos? That's a question from Mom Pratt. I would like to know.
Uh-oh. Give him the evil
Either
eye.
one of you go. Either one of you.
I don't think either of them want to answer that.
I mean, I've seen you fall,
Oh, I show myself falling on video all the time. That's just I'm clumsy sometimes. I can't help it.
Talon's
That's just me.
thinking. The gears are turning.
Me and my icebreakers addiction. Miss Pratt, be careful. Your reflections in the back.
Oh no. Yes, I see. I'm going the other way. Bye, guys.
Oh my goodness.
shoot.
Can I get a yeah?
Jordan Wilson, if I could buy a brand new truck tomorrow, what would it be? Oh, like I said earlier, it would be probably the Peterbilt 389 twin steer tri-drive 1075 Century. Who is the owner? That would be my parents, their grandparents. Oh, is the Waddle Cam coming back? Talon.
Possibly.
Ted Scott, Ron
Dodge
Martin.
Ram 05 Cummins. Always watched your videos. Always. I notice you commenting on there all the time. Thank you. You've been a long time viewer. Greatly
I
appreciated.
don't want to be seen. Devil Dog wants to know, and he's asked this multiple times, favorite branch of the military?
All military services personnel. Thank you. No favorite one. I appreciate everyone who serves. Period.
We've had family members in all branches.
We've had family members and all. Why does it seem you have a preference for the boom winches when it looks like the drag winch will do the job, or they just use?
The drag winch.
Okay.
I hate the drag winch.
On the 1150R, there is I'm going to call it a flaw in the design, or at least in my opinion it is. The approach angle on the wire rope is too shallow. And no matter how many times you re-spool the winch, you can re-spool it, you can power spool it, you can do whatever. And by the time you get to a job, you can't pull the winch out. You cannot free-spool it. It is bird caged. We've done everything we could think of. We've been in contact with Miller. We've even considered using synthetic rope on it, and nobody seems to have any good answer as to why that drag winch doesn't work. Yes, I would love to use it, but it just, you can't free spool it. I'm not going to comment.
That
Nope.
would have been a great blooper.
Yes, it would have been a good
Ethan's
blooper.
over here on a little glider foot rocker, and he just slid off.
He busted his butt.
And then Chip came over to step on him.
Okay. So, Paul Zaki, happiness is the key. And what do you use to edit your videos?
I use the, let's see, CyberLink Power Director 15 currently.
Chip, come on.
If you would be hiring a new driver, what qualifications, qualities are you looking for? We would like to have somebody with experience, but like Talon said, we do a lot of our own in-house training. I like to make sure that people are accustomed with the way we do things. A CDL license is a must, but as far as industry-specific training, I take care of most of that myself. I train our own guys. Ron, were you in the military? No, I was not. I have a lot of friends who were, a lot of family who was. Very respectful to all who have been, but no, I have not.
Nathaniel Booker, do you like any Miller wrecker equipment?
Do I like any Miller wrecker equipment? Yes, all of our equipment is built by Miller Industries.
Chip, wait. What's that, Chip? Come on, what's that?
Okay, so when the red and blues are on the side of the road, do people have to move over? Yes, by law, they're supposed to move over, even if they were just ambers. I know we get the questions a lot because Missouri is one of the few where towing and recovery vehicles can have red and blue lights and sirens. In a non-emergency situation, if we're sitting on the side of the interstate, we can still run our red and blues. That's a warning sign that we can use, and it works better than the ambers. It just does. But as soon as we leave, as soon as we get up to speed, we have to turn those red and blues off and either turn on the ambers or turn all the lights, emergency lighting off, period. Once we leave the side of the road, we have to turn those red and blues off. but they do help. They help much better than the Ambers, in my opinion.
Matt asked, do you ever cuss? I doubt it. I'm just going to answer that as your loving wife. We love Jesus, but sometimes we cuss a little.
I'm not perfect. Don't
No.
claim to be. Yes, foul language does occasionally slip through my lips, but I try not to. I try very hard not to.
I ain't
And
gonna
it's-
say it for you. That's teamwork.
Moving on.
that-
Teamwork.
Good cop, bad cop.
could that be part of the reason the waddle cam's not on quite so much?
Josh, Mary, and Hayron from Mountains of North Carolina. Please continue to pray for operators' families in North Carolina, whom both were tragically killed by drivers who wasn't paying attention. Thank you in advance, and God bless.
There was someone sent me a picture of a Ohio state trooper's car that got demolished on the side of the road a day or two ago. It happens all the time, guys. Please, please, please slow down, move over, whatever you're able to do. Even if it's just a car on the side of the road, you don't know if someone's in that car and can open their door at the last second as you're passing by. Move over for your own safety, for the safety of everybody else. Please move over.
Here's a question, Epic A-Train. Hey, Ron, if I were to make you something, a product not to be used on video, would you take a look at it? It's designed to keep you safe.
Sure. I don't know if anybody heard that, but Epic A-Train asked if he made a product, he or she made a product not to be used on video. Would I use it? Yes, I would be glad to try it. Sure. Adam Bonin, I would like to see all states and provinces have the law that wreckers can use red and blues. The red and blue lights are a good thing. However, there's a lot to be considered. It is a huge responsibility and can also be a liability. I don't take it lightly, and I know Talon doesn't either, because just because we're considered emergency vehicles does not mean that we can bypass all of the laws and all the safety. Even if we're running code to an accident scene, if we blow through a stoplight or a stop sign and cause an accident, it's our fault, period. It is our fault. Just the same as a fire truck or an ambulance. You've got to approach the intersection slow and only proceed when it's safe to do so. You can't just blow through. And I see a big problem if they allow just anybody to turn on the red and blues and sirens. It's got to be something that people respect and have had training, and you can't just do it willy-nilly.
There's one from Bill Baldwin. How do you like the Guardian Angel?
How do I like the Guardian Angels? I love it. Absolutely love it. You'll see more videos of those coming up. They work great on the cones. They work great clipped into my shirt pocket or on my belt loop. Yes, Ethan?
Happiness is key says, can we mail you anything?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. If you want to mail something, mail it to the shop address. It's on our website. M9 Ovich. Hey, Mike. I was a military brat for 14 years. I could not get into the service due to a medical condition. I wear a POW MIA bracelet to honor my father, RIP, and all branches of the. Thanks, Mike. Mike's been a long-time viewer, a long-time supporter. Thank you, Mike.
The Governor one. What are your thoughts on using synthetic rope over wire rope?
I've not had any experience with the synthetic. We've considered going to it. We just haven't done it yet. I know a lot of people have. There's a lot of things you have to be careful with because it doesn't have the abrasive protection quite like the wire rope does, but we are considering it.
John Etherton, I used to work for Scott City School driving buses when you first started doing their mechanic work and towing.
Cool.
There was a little bit more, but my phone decided to scroll to the live comment.
Micro Apple, can we get subscriber discounts if we call you for a tow? Over the road driver, two separate.
Yeah. Someone asked, and I don't know if you could hear my wife off camera. Someone asked if they could get discounts for tows if they say that they're a subscriber. let me just make it clear. The YouTube channel is completely separate from Midwest Truck. Midwest Truck is our daily business. My parents own it. The YouTube channel is something that I do on the side. I do it on my own with the help of my family. Obviously, we do things as a family, but they are separate. So just to make that line clear there.
Paul Zeki says, what kind of motorcycle do you ride?
Depends on what day of the week it is. Earlier today, I was riding Ethan's dirt bike, and I also rode my Harley. Wife and I have a Harley Davidson Ultra Classic Limited that we really enjoy riding. And then Ethan, you can tell him what your bike is, his dirt bike that he's got.
No, you go ahead. I don't feel like talking on camera.
You're talking right now.
I was about to say you're talking right now.
It's
Just
2000.
scoot over.
It's a 2000. No, okay. Hello.
Hurry.
It's a 2015 Yamaha YZ250 FX.
Someone asked, do I do fly fishing? I haven't done fly fishing in a long time. Ethan and I love to fish. Lauren and Talon love to fish. I love to hunt. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. But the four of us here are huge fisher people. We love to fish. The wife, not so much. She's not into the whole outdoors thing.
I love the
she
outdoors. I just don't like to kill things.
She loves to camp, but she doesn't like the hunting and fishing part.
Can you scoot over a little bit? Ethan said he'll get in here.
Here, okay. Ethan wants to get in. Come on.
It's
I
Scoot
said
over.
I can hear you, Ethan.
Scooch over a little
What is your biggest buck you've ever got? Biggest buck for me is a 9-point non-typical, about 250 pounds. All the way from another one from Australia. Got a lot of viewers from down under. A good friend of mine just got back from a trip to Canada and America. Mike, let's see.
Adam Guyman, have you ever lifted an airplane?
Actually, yes, we have. We did a recovery of an airplane last year. It will not be on video. It was a fatality. But yes, we have an airport close. So yes, we have done airplane lifts.
Victor K says, Ron, what's your favorite gun?
What's my favorite gun?
Yes.
Well, one that I don't have that I would love to have. We were just talking about
that.
talking about it earlier. I'd like to have a Barrett 50, but I don't have the money for one. Let's see. Someone says, dumb question, but do you have any moose down there? No, we do not have any moose down here. We do have
Just
elk.
a dog.
Yeah, okay, yes. We do have elk that have recently been reintroduced into the state of Missouri. They're trying to rebuild the population. They had been killed out of Missouri. They were extinct in Missouri, and they've been pulling them back in. Let's see.
Nagaru Hatsumi, I hope I pronounced that right. Pratt's, wish my family was as close as you all are. It takes work sometimes, but we're very blessed.
Yes, yes. Let's see. Who's a better shot, you or Lauren at bird hunting? Vic. Hey, Vic.
Hi, Vic.
Hi, Vic.
Dad.
Lauren's the bird hunter.
I was about to say, have you been bird hunting?
Nope, I've not been bird hunting. Lauren's the bird hunter. Let's see. The 2019 Century 1075 HD rotator Kenworth twin steer. Oh, it scrolled out. I didn't get to read all of it.
There it is.
Where
No.
Here's one. Hey, Ron, is Tom still with
is
the
a
company?
sexy looking machine. You
Yes.
need one,
Yes.
Mr. Pratt. We will all have to email your dad and convince him. Better yet, let's just. I think Vic was one that told me, Victor Masano, a friend of mine that lives up in Canada, he said, if all of my subscribers just donated $10, we could afford a 1075 on a twin steer. You know, that would be great. Just everybody donate $10. Yeah. No, we're not going to do a GoFundMe for a new rotator. We're not going to do that.
Here's one from Larry B. Being on call as you do, what do you consider a vacation? You want me to answer that?
Okay, the only way I can get a vacation is to go out of the country. Over the last 6 years, every 2 years, the wife and I have learned that we enjoy taking a cruise, and that's the only time I can put my phone in a safe and it doesn't ring. If we take a vacation in the United States, the shop or a lot of customers, especially customers, because a lot of them have my personal cell phone, will be calling me, not realizing I'm on vacation. The only way for me to truly get away is to get out of the country.
I don't call. He calls me.
Micro, oh, go ahead. honey.
Micro Apple, has anyone told you you look like Bill Engvall?
Yes.
How many date nights are put on hold for calls? Oh my gosh, I can't even.
Every single one of them.
Did you hear that? Every single one.
That's
Top
okay.
three. Hold on.
That's okay. That's
Ron,
okay.
would you touch on the differences between the rotator and a crane? I get that question a lot on my live streams. Okay. Some of the differences between a rotator and a crane. Cranes are designed basically to set in one location and lift very heavy loads.
Yes.
But at the boom angle, usually very high. Rotator is designed not specifically to lift, but to be able to pull something towards you. Cranes have safety systems that keep them from tipping or rolling over. The rotator doesn't have that because it can obviously pull a lot more towards it than it is able of lifting. Say it has a max lift capacity of 100,000 pounds, but I may be able to pull or winch towards me 250, 300,000 pounds or more if I can anchor the truck. And if the safety alarms are going off and shutting the system down, I wouldn't be able to do that. There are a lot of other differences, and we'll go into greater detail later, but that's one of the primary differences. Is this is designed as a recovery vehicle for rapid deployment.
David Collins, are you and your family looking to go on holiday together? Come to Gladstone, Queensland, Australia.
That would be
If
awesome.
that would be
Oh.
a possibility for all
Yes.
of us to go, Australia is on our bucket list. But
Yes.
That would
we
be
can't
awesome.
all go at the same time because somebody's got to man the phones and the rotator.
Yeah.
With it being a family business, it's difficult for all of us to get away at the same time, nearly impossible.
Going to the movie theater is a
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, going to the movie theater as a family is difficult for us because the phone rings. But anyway, yeah, Australia is on my bucket list.
Ireland.
Ireland is my wife's bucket list. So yeah, there's a lot of world traveling we'd like to do. It's just, let's see, Dan, what's this, Dan? Can all viewers that watch the videos remember the boom angle on the tater is set to make it go under bridges? Good question, Dan. See if everybody's paying attention. Also, the Governor, V100 or 9055. Basically, they're the same thing. The V100 is the Vulcan, which is a Miller Industry product. The 9055 is the Century, which is also a Miller product. The basic difference is the outrigger setup. They're both 50-ton units. The Vulcan's rear outriggers come straight down. The Century outriggers come down at, what is it, like a 15 or 20 degree angle towards the side. Some of the newer ones have extendable outriggers, but they're both basically the same.
Not much difference.
The boom itself isn't much difference unless you go with the XL model, which is the 3-stage boom, and you have a lot more length, and they beef up the boom so you can lift more at that length. I think it's what, 18,000, isn't that right, Talon? Something like 18,000 at full extension, which is amazing.
You have one from Joel Phipps. Hello from Abyss Towing Recovery in Boise, Idaho. You also have one. Hello, Ron. I'm from Brazil and like a lot of your videos, and God bless you.
Thank you.
From
Here's
Venancio.
Okay,
somewhat-
some of the answers. Some people are getting it right. Some of them are close, but not quite on the angle the boom is stowed at.
Okay.
We'll give that a few minutes yet.
I think Mom had a question. Too.
Okay, go ahead.
There was a Will Dozier. Hello, Ron and family from Will and Nina from Sikeston, Missouri. Love
Wow.
the
Hey.
live stream and
Close
hope
to
you
home.
and your family have a great and safe year ahead. Hello, Sikeston.
Hello, Chris Hirsch. I have one of those hats you're wearing. High quality item, well worth it. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. 8 degrees. 8 degrees is the correct answer for those who are trying to answer. At 8 degrees, we know that the rotator can clear 13 foot 6 inches. under all power lines, bridges, etc.
John Kaler, of all the equipment you have, what would you like to have? Sorry, of all the equipment you have, what do you want to have for the future?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of things we'd like to have. Talon and I talk about that all the time.
That's a daily conversation.
Yeah, we'd like to have a skid steer with a winch bucket on it. Like to have a landau. Oh my gosh, there's just all kind of stuff we'd like to have. We'd like to have a tandem on a 50-ton. All kind of things we'd like to get into. We'll see what we get into.
Gamesy 95, greetings from Northern Ireland. Love the channel.
Hello, Ireland.
St. Patrick's Day.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to Ireland. Yeah.
You have a hi from Jackson Jeffrey Smith from Jackson, Missouri.
That's close.
That's
close.
family.
We were up there
Yes.
yesterday.
Florida Tow Show. I don't know. Probably not. I don't get to go to many of the tow shows. I would love to, but I don't get to go. Someone here said they had some skid steers.
Ellie McFarland, can you tell us if there's any good upcoming videos? Hey, they're all good.
Hey, I like that answer. A lot of people asking about the shop videos. We can't do videos inside the shop and showing customers vehicles inside the shop. Or, well, we could, but we prefer not to. There's been a lot of discussion about that, and sorry, but we won't be doing any in-shop videos unless they're work on our own equipment, not on customers' vehicles, but we might do some on our own equipment. Victor De Sanfa, what's your favorite food? Italian, hands down Italian. I can do pasta anytime. Yeah, that's it.
Talon
Twice
does
a
not.
week.
Talon does not like Italian meat, bread, potatoes. That's about it. Extremely picky.
Someone
Freight
said
relocation specialist, do you have a hazmat endorsement?
yes. My CDL has, and Talon's both have all endorsements except passenger bus. I have motorcycle, Class A with motorcycle, hazmat, tankers, doubles, triples, air brakes, everything except passenger bus, because we cannot tow a bus with passengers in it. And I really don't want to drive a school bus.
You have a bunch of highs from, let's see, there was Ferguson, Missouri, there was Portageville, there was Springfield, there's also a high from Louisville, Kentucky, Tennessee.
Josh Leffers. good evening,
Happiness
Pratt
is the
family
key.
from
Have
Toledo,
you ever had
Missouri.
to shut down a major road? Yes, we have. It's not necessarily us, but a lot of times on fatality incidents, the Missouri State Highway Patrol will shut down the highway for accident reconstruction. I was actually, LaDonna and I were on a cruise, and Talon was
That's what his backyard gig
Talon was
about.
stuck working the rotator on a cattle truck rollover, and we didn't get video of that. I wish we had video of that, but there was a cattle truck rollover, and they did shut the interstate down both
It
ways.
is awesome.
And that was I missed that one. I wish I had been here for that. That would have been fun. But
They're still alive and stomping around in there. And hollering at them, settle down.
Kevin Beneke says, I would love to see you take the rotator to a truck and tractor pull. I would love to see it drag one of those sleds behind it and know how it do.
I don't know that we'll be doing that. We might stand at one end and winch the sled to us, but I don't know how to do trying to pull the sled.
Do it.
Oh wow, we've already gone over our hour. We planned on an hour, and we're at an hour and 4 minutes now. This has flown by.
One question, Storm Chaser 8624, Ron, how's that radio doing in your Ram truck from one of your installation videos?
Oh yeah, the radio that I put in my personal truck, the radio itself does really well. The backup camera, I had some problems with it, but it was the wireless, and all I did was installed made it wired instead of wireless, and that corrected the problem. Good, clear picture. The only thing that I not real happy about with it is the voice quality on the Bluetooth phone connection. It's a little bit lacking there, but the map on it is great. The sound quality is great. The backup camera is great. The only thing that I have a little issue with is the Bluetooth phone connection.
I love this one. Doppelmayr Leitner _ Poma. Ron, finally a video without power lines overhead.
Very few and far between. Our arch nemesis, the power lines. Yes.
Not necessarily a fan of this question, but people keep asking when Lauren and Talon are going to have kids.
Okay.
At some point.
Sometime, yeah. Let's see. Trucker Dogfish. I run a 40-ton ZAC DTU on a W9. Good setup. No storage. What can't live without equipment would you have?
So what's something you couldn't?
What couldn't I live without? Oh my gosh, I run out of storage so quickly, as most of you know. I like to be prepared for almost anything. Part of that is going to depend on what you're doing. If you're just doing long haul tows with the DTU, you know, you've got to have your standard forks and tie down chains, straps, bungee cords, light cords, air fittings, air tap-in connectors. Oh my gosh, just go on and on and on. Stuff to pull a drive line in case you have to pull one from the front, stuff to tie the fairings. Wow. I could go on and on.
Eric T says, "What's the kitty's name?"
What's the kitty? This kitty is Ducky,
Or the tiny terrorist.
or the tiny terrorist, also known as Sour Patch Cat, because first she's sweet and then she's sour.
She was rescued from under a
Yeah.
motorhome. All
Rescued
of our animals
from-
were
Rescue. All of our animals are rescued. She was rescued from under an RV that came into the shop. Got to run. Love the videos. Thanks. Glad you could join in. Let's see. Has the rotator ever struggled? Oh yeah. Yes, definitely.
Ryan Petzold, were you a Boy Scout, Ron?
Yes. Eagle Scout, class of 1983.
You were a baby.
Let's see. I'm afraid we can keep going or we can wind it down.
You can do another one. Here's Josh Leffers. Good evening, Pratt family from Toledo, Ohio. Getting a tow truck driver job tomorrow. Looking forward to doing your job in the state of Ohio. Good luck, Josh.
Yeah, good luck. Be safe. Watch your six. Biggest thing, keep full 360-degree awareness. Watch out all the time.
Don't get excited.
Yeah. Just be safe. Be safe. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. This has been an excellent, I think, for our first time. It's been great. Glad to have the whole family with us and all the viewers with us. We will do this again. I will let you know when. I don't know exactly when, but we'll end it on the same note that we do all of the videos. As always, thank you for watching, and God bless.
Bye. God
See
bless.
ya.